How's it going, everyone? Jirai Gaming here. Welcome back to episode number 66 of my Jirai's Topic Wednesdays. And obviously, this is going to be part through to the little mini, I guess you could say a mini series I kind of have for this month, obviously for Black History Month. Now, hopefully you guys understood what I was talking about in the last two episodes. I wanted to try, I really could have covered a little more things, but I didn't want to kind of give away what I have to say, which is the bad thing, to be honest, with this series. In each of these episodes, I have to kind of hold back on certain things I want to say. Now, all of this should tie into what I'm going to be talking about today, which is going to be, of course, why do Black men date outside their race or date Caucasian women? And are, for lack of a better way of putting it, they have the qualities that men need and a man needs in their life that African American women don't necessarily give. Now, don't think that I don't understand that some African American women understand the concept and are told and taught how to act and behave as a woman, and especially being in a relationship and so forth, etc. Now, basically, like I said before, all of these, the combination of part one and part two wrapped in a gift bag is what creates, of course, part three, which we're talking about now in this episode, which is why do African American men date outside the race and date, of course, Caucasian women. For starters, one, like I said before, the lack of quality that African American women lacks, they make a Caucasian woman make up for it. And the difference is within, of course, the household. Now, don't get me wrong, because you have some of the same issues that African American women have in their household, as far as single parent homes, so forth, etc., tend to be the same as well in Caucasian hosts and other ethnic backgrounds, but it's not as aggressive and massive issue as it is in the Black communities, especially when you have other people can chip in and help out too as well, pertaining to Caucasian background and so forth, etc. And another thing that is interesting too as well is the simple fact that a lot of Caucasian women are taught how to be submissive females, so they know what to do and how to talk to a man, how to treat a man. That doesn't make them any less than a woman, doesn't make them a slave. They just know how to treat their husband, which is a very good thing for a man, because it helps put a man at ease. It helps ease the tension within the household. You're not constantly going up against someone that's trying to wear the pants in the house or trying to be the man. When you're trying to be the man, Caucasian females and even other ethnic backgrounds, like for example, Hispanic household, a lot of those Hispanic chicks are women, rather, I don't want to say chicks because it's kind of rude, but a lot of those Hispanic women are taught to be submissive and to take care of the household, how to cook, clean, and take care of the man. And that's what they do. Whereas in African American household, it's not necessarily that. I mean, some of them don't want to cook, some of them won't cook, and some of them feel like if you tell them that they wanted to cook and you want a hot meal, you're belittling them. They're feeling, oh, well, I'm a powerful Black woman, you can't tell me what to do and so forth. Whereas on the other side, it's something totally different. Now, obviously, this is something they do because they understand that that's their role and that's what they need to do to please their husband. Again, like I said, this is nothing that's that's demeaning or anything that takes away from them being a woman or want to be equal, like the feminists are trying to push, or feminism in general. That doesn't take away from that, because they can still be that. In fact, in any relationship that you're in, whether you're married or not, it's still 50-50, as long as both parties understand that. So if you have a man that's taking care of the house and doing what he's supposed to do, and you have a woman that's submissive and give this person the trust because she trusts this person from whatever conversation they have, and of course getting to know this person and knowing their character and so forth, putting their trust in this person, and therefore you have to just let that person handle business, and that's the way it goes. And it's very difficult to do that in the African American community, as far as the woman goes in the African American community. Now, does that mean that it doesn't happen in the African American community? Of course not. You do have a few women that understand that. In fact, I had a conversation with a woman last year who's actually a customer of mine's, and I remember talking to her, and she was actually, I believe she got divorced twice. And I remember talking to her, I don't remember how we got on this topic, But I remember her saying to me, and she's way older than me, but anyway, I think she's like in her late 40s. But she's been finding herself going to church a lot, and how she actually got into church was she started doing little, I guess, yeah, she started going to little gatherings, and I guess someone kind of gave her a little booklet and a packet where she could go and hear someone speak about relationship and marriage and how a woman should actually carry themselves, and it's not, and to not be demeaning, but how they should carry themselves as a woman versus trying to be the man and butting heads in a relationship, which only makes the relationship worse. When you think about it, no guy wants to feel like he's actually marrying a guy if he's, not, you know, gay or something to that effect. Again, I'm not disrespecting anyone that's gay or anything like that, but if you're a straight man, you don't want to have get a feeling like you're fighting against another man in the house, which is what happened when you're dating African American women. Their presence is so strong and so similar to guys that it makes it very difficult. It's almost like they take on that role as a man, which therefore pushes other guys away. Like, hey, I feel like I'm in a relationship with another guy, and it's frustrating because I shouldn't be fighting for power of being the man and, being respected in my own home. Then it creates a problem. Whereas, Caucasian relationships, you don't necessarily have that. I mean, they are very respectful, very nice. They know how to please their man. They do whatever it takes to please their man. And that's the way it should be, just like a man should do whatever to please his woman too as well. And again, the roles are reversed when you go to the African American community, which makes it very, very difficult for any relationship to really last. Now, this is a fact. You can even go on YouTube and look it up. There's even one segment I saw on, I believe it was Steve Harvey or maybe someone else, where they had a guy and a female that kind of wrote a book, and they would talk about the same thing. In fact, that's the same issue they were having, and they had to find themselves and realize what was happening. The woman came out and she was realizing that this was something she was taught growing up in a single parent home. And if I can find a video, I'll link it in the description as well. She was kind of taught that through the actions of her mom and just kind of going through and seeing her mom and other members of her family and friends that, were basically in the same position that she was in. And she had to realize what she was doing and how some of the things she was doing was belittling her man and making him feel less of a man, which then damaged his character and, his, personal feeling as a man. And obviously most guys are not going to come out and say, hey, look, you need to, respect me, because if I don't get it, I don't feel like a man. I mean, most guys are not going to come out and say that, but it creates an issue in the undertone of things, so to speak. And so it's the grass, as most people will say, is greener on the Caucasian side of things, or the Hispanic ethnic side of things, and so forth, etc. And even, other countries as well, like Vietnam and China and so forth. China may be a little different, but Vietnam and stuff like that. That's just why you see a lot of these guys are doing, even Americans are doing male order brides, where they're getting brides from overseas. I personally know someone as an in-law that is married to someone that he went and married overseas, and they're in a really good relationship, and they don't fuss, they don't fight, and you don't get any of that. And he even made it clear that that's the issue that he was having before in his past relationship, why he never decided to have kids and so forth, and got rid of that, and now he has no issues at all. So it just shows you that this is a big problem in the community, African American community, especially pertaining to women, just almost in a sense becoming the man in the relationship. And it happens way too often than it really should. And I think a lot of that is stemmed from, of course, the broken household, and a lot of these women not properly having the home training of how to be a woman, so to speak, properly be a woman and take care of the house. And I don't mean that you should just take care of the house, because if both parties is working and stuff, then that's a shared quality work. I mean, you guys can both share that job. So I'm not that type of person to say, hey, your woman sit at home, make me a sandwich. That's not what I'm advocating for or saying. I'm just saying that a woman has her side of things to do, and a man has his side of things to do. The man is the leader of the house, the head of the house, and the woman follows. And that means the guy gets to do certain things and take on a man role as far as providing for his family. In some cases, guys are not even allowed to do that, because of some women just don't allow that to happen, because of their negative men demeanor, so to speak, that they take on in these relationships, which then of course creates a big issue. Now, hopefully I've made myself very clear and I've, stated my opinion on everything, and you guys understand where I'm coming from. Let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section down below. If you guys agree with what I have to say, let me know why you guys do in a comment. If you disagree with me, let me know as well. Again, for any African American woman that's watching this, you can definitely state your opinion too as well. I am black, so I'm not going off an African American woman at all. My sister is black, my mom is black, so that's definitely not the case I'm trying to make here. I'm just trying to kind of point out certain things that happens and some of the reason why most guys are now thinking about dating Caucasian and other race, because of the fact that they're much easier to deal with in a nutshell than African American women. And I know some people boil it down to, well, because they can't handle, a strong black powerful woman. That's not the case. It's almost like you're fighting against another man. It's almost like you're dealing with another guy. You have two egos that just don't work. And that's just the way it is. So with that said, thank you guys again for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. Share with anyone you think they enjoy watching it. If you guys want to leave any suggestions, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe for more videos. And with that said, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. I'm your host, Jiraiya Gaming. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.